What's up, everybody? This is Matt Ogle with VYPE Media. I'm speaking with none other than the head coach from Houston Christian, Coach AJ Eisenman. Did I pronounce that correct?
Yes, you got it right.
Awesome. So tremendous start to this season. Y'all are 6-3, coming off some huge wins against Fort Worth Country Day and Green Hill, key district wins. So on the heels of perhaps, well, it is the best season y'all ever had last year, reaching the SBC championship. Tell me, how have y'all taken the approach for this year? Because I know Brett Kilchrist, he was y'all's quarterback last year. Talk about what has been the secret ingredient to this year's success.
One of the things last year was an amazing ride, and it was kind of something we'd been building towards. But going into the season, we didn't know it was going to look like that. So you're kind of just riding a high the whole season long. This year, we knew coming in that we were going to have to replace kids like Brett and just an amazing senior class. But we still felt pretty strong. We've got a great senior class this year. We've got 20 seniors. A lot of them are returning starters from last year's team. So the approach this year was very different than the year before, where we kind of had established ourselves. Our mindset coming in was to be one of the favorites, and that's a different approach. And when you are a favorite, people are shooting for you. So our mindset all year long has been standing strong, to just stand strong. People are going to come for you. You're going to be a circled game on their schedule. So everyone's going to give you your best. So you got to be ready at all times and just be willing to stand strong. And in doing so, that means really, truly just tapping into what our culture is about anyway, which is Christ being the foundation and standing strong in that. And, and anything, everything type attitude where we do everything and everything we can to glorify God with the talents that we've been given.
All right. Speaking of that talent, and as I mentioned, Brett was a huge piece. You have a few other key pieces that had since graduated, like you said, a very tremendous senior class. Talk about how y'all have kind of spread the wealth, because on a stat sheet, there's not one particular guy that stands above the rest. It seems like everybody's pitching in. So talk about some of your guys that have really allowed this team to flourish this fall.
I mean, even this year, we have an outstanding running back named Cade Gullich, who's a junior, but he's been out the entire year with a pubis injury. So that's just more adversity that we've had to face. Anderson Jones has come back the last 3 weeks. He's had 3 straight 100-yard receiving games, but he was hurt a large portion of the year. So you are correct. Like, we've spread it around. We've got Bennett Mallory, who's been a player for us for 4 years. He's had a couple big games for us. We got a kid from the Halls that is an outstanding baseball player at our school named Kirby Orth, who's come in and played receiver before. He's never played football at the high school level, and he's had a couple of huge catches this year. We had a transfer kid that we brought in to play DB, and he's been playing running back for us because Cade's been out. His name is Greg Guidry. He's an outstanding track kid, really, really good DB for us, but he's playing both ways. We have 2 kids rotating at quarterback. We have a senior who's been in our program for 3 years, named Ron Reese. He's come in a couple of times. We've been rotating quarterbacks. There's been a couple of times where he's come off the bench and just been absolutely clutch and throwing some amazing throws and leading some game-winning drives. The other quarterback is R.J. Evans, who was a transfer from Dulles. He's a sophomore, really athletic kid. Got a very strong arm, very active arm. So he's done some good things. And really kind of the glue that brings that group together is we have a very strong offensive line, which is kind of different for where we've been in the past. But we've got a group of guys that have kind of grown together. With that, there's 1 senior, there's 3 juniors. But our ability to run the ball and control the game is very different than what we've done in the past, where last year we were all over the place with the football. This year it's a little more controlled, and like, you just every next man up, next guy steps up, and guys just making plays every week.
That's got to be, I feel like that's got to, sometimes as a coach, I would imagine it's a headache whenever you have to rely on a certain facet of your offense or a certain facet of, I guess, it's a team play, but having all these dependable pieces, and the backbone of any offense is the offensive line. So I would imagine it's somewhat relieving to have these guys that you know you can count on whenever the crunch time moments come in. So you said this is your 3rd year as head coach, 7th year overall with Houston Christian. You were previously the defensive coordinator. Tell me, how would you say that your background with this program, in addition to the staff that has allowed this team to flourish, how would you say that it has benefited not only the team overall, but the individual players that have been able to step up in the big moments?
Um, I've had an amazing. I mean, the guys on the staff are amazing. It truly is. This is my third year as the head coach. We've maintained the same staff for 3 years, which is something very different than had taken place the years before. And we've actually added coaches rather than losing coaches, which that kind of stability and continuity is huge for developing a program. It's incredibly important, again, because we are a faith-based program. So everything we do comes from a missional standpoint. So to find guys like that are willing to give themselves and their time, and that involves a sense of vulnerability too, that our coaches coach from, that really, really is special. As far as being a defense coordinator in the past, I mean, it, this year our defense has been amazing. It really is the strength of our team. In district, we're giving up less than 10 points a game. We were really good on defense last year. I think we only gave up about 16 points a game last year. This year, we're even better. We switched our defensive scheme to fit our kids a little bit better, different group of kids. So you always want to, as a coach, you want to look at your kids and put them in the best position. We moved from an odd front to a four-man front, and our front four is, I mean, really our box. Our front six has been just dominant all year long, and we got some good kids on the back end, but our defense is definitely the strength and the identity of our team this year.
Yes, sir. I mean, I feel like the old adage still rings true. Defense wins championships. And as I mentioned prior, I mean, y'all reached first ever SBC championship a year ago. Tell me, what do you think it's going to take for this team to reach that point again and potentially win it all?
I mean, we've clinched a spot, so we're headed back to where we got, which I can say getting back is, it's a totally different journey than getting there the first time. And there's been some bumps in the way, but for us, we've talked about it all year long. Our biggest opposition is ourselves. When we play mistake-free football and play our style of ball, we're going to be successful. It may not always be pretty this year. It may not look like it did last year, but I guess it just depends on the perspective you're looking at it from, because if you're looking at it from a defensive guy's perspective, you love it. It's not necessarily as high scoring, but it's a little more smash mouth, and it's a little more physical. And it's really a tribute to the coaches and the players to be able to adjust the way that we play and the way that we win. We're not trying to just do it one specific way. We're looking at the kids that we have and the teams that we're playing and adapting our style to them. But for us, I mean, really, truly, the key is consistency. Playing mistake-free football, paying attention to details, and just maximizing the potential that we have.
Yes, sir. Do y'all know who you're playing for the title game yet?
We do not. So it comes down to this last week. There's a couple games, and then, the SBC is crazy. So it's likely to be a three-way tie for second place, and then it goes with points. So we played every team. The teams that we have the potential to be playing are all very good teams, well-coached teams. So for us to beat them, we need to be at our best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. We would love to see the Big HC get a trophy in that trophy case. Anyways, thank you so much for your time, Coach. Wish you all the best of luck moving forward, and we're really impressed to see just how well this team has been able to develop over the past couple of seasons. And anyways, once again, thanks for your time, and good luck this year.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Awesome. This has been Matt Oak with VYPE Media and Coach AJ Eisenman for Houston Christian. Watch out, folks. We'll see y'all at the games.